we rolling? You hit tape?
We're not wasting tape.
We no wasting? Okay. After Dark, Shawnee and Heather. What's going on? The season premiere. Food and beverage we're focusing on. And right now you're looking at history. Tony Orlando and Dawn right here. All right? We're over here. We're brought to you by the fine folks. This segment is brought to you by the fine folks at what used to be Smokey's Place for a reason. Because tonight we're talking with bartender. We're doing bar talk. You know the whole show is about barroom banter, what we talk about at the bar, what we play on the jukebox, all that kind of shit. We don't get into all the other. So I've got two of my favorite bartenders. I'm going to let them introduce themselves right here.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And over there.
I'm Rachel.
Hey, Alicia and Rachel in the building with us tonight. And any question or any thought or misconception you ever had about bartenders, you're probably right. So what we're going to do tonight is clear it up. And I wanted this show for a reason. One particular reason. One thing I always tell everybody, tell a lot of DJs, there is a very importance to be a great DJ or to be a great band. At a bar or a live venue, you have to have a rapport with the bartender because, believe it or not, you can practice all you want, you can rehearse all you want, but it's not going to make a damn thing if they're not enjoying it or not drinking because, of course, the more they drink, the better you get paid. Mm-hmm. So, tell me about the rapport that you have. See, the bartender is like a quarterback. Yeah. Like, seriously, a lot of people, they'll tell you if you're too loud, they tell you requests. They'll tell you, what have you. So what? First of all, y'all both do live venues. Where there's live venues at? COVID. Let's jump there. How hard has it been, man? I know it's been hard. I know bartenders who lost their apartments. And the good thing about bartenders is you can always work. But I've seen it go down in scales to where they end up at like Waffle House.
Yeah.
So how has it been, man?
For me, it's just bartending is always inconsistent to begin with, and now it's even more inconsistent in a negative way. I don't know, I feel like it probably hit you more. You have a daughter to take care of.
I just think our industry is forever changed by this. Even if and I'll try not to get emotional, but I've been doing this a very long time, and I've never seen anything like this. Our industry will never be the same. We're trying to get back to where it was, but we're like gypsies. We're gonna go where we need to go and how we need to go, and try to survive. But to not have bands, and I've been friends with bands a long time. I'm the bartender in the middle bar at Montreux, and to not have those bands anymore,
it's crazy.
It's awful.
Obviously the tips went down because of COVID,
right.
But they're pretty steady now. Is that coming more from your regulars or?
It's coming more from the regulars because they understand. I work on the weekend, so when you got a customer and his tab is $95 and you do last call at 10:30 because you have to, when they sign out their tab and they tip you $5 on 95 and say last call is 10:55, you're just being lazy. That's not my fault. This isn't something new that's happening. This is something that we're dealing with as best as we can. So we depend on those regulars. When we see those regulars, they know. They're here because they want to support us because they know what we're going through.
It's a hell of a time. Alicia, I remember when you first started at Smokey's.
Yes.
I don't think I ever told you this story. You're getting an exclusive tonight. I remember the first night you walked in. There were 3 other trials before you got there.
Okay.
There were 3. And all three females that came in, Smokey looked at me and go, "Nah, I'm gonna make it."
That's awesome.
I had to agree with him, like, nah. They're too enthusiastic and too braggy about how good they are.
Okay.
Then you came in. And he calls me after your first night. He calls me like about midnight. He goes, "What do you think about Little Toots?" That's what he calls all the way. Y'all, I'm not making this up. It's a term of endearment. And I said, I swear to you, I said, she's not going to make it. Now, I thought one of the other three were going to make it. I said, she is not going to make it. Until the first night, it was a Friday night, and there was somebody there who had way too much. And you had to handle that because they were being a little disruly to you. Now, I started to get up. I'm like, there's no way this little girl's going to handle this. But you was able to come behind the bar and handle it. And I called someone and said, no, she's all right. She makes it. Dealing bartenders is actually dangerous.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, like Smokey's never had security. And you're at the Busy Bee.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And what's crazy is Smokey used to walk us to our cars every night. And Busy Bee, they do not do that.
Busy Bee parking lot is dark.
It is freaking dark.
It's like when the lights are off, that's it.
Yeah.
You got to flashlight your way to the car.
Yeah. I'm like running to the car. So it's just, I tell everyone I was so spoiled at Smokey's, dude, because, first of all, speaking of the interview, I went in there thinking I was going to be a server.
And Smokey's?
At Smokey's. That's what I went in there for.
During the daytime?
Yeah, I don't know what I thought.
Well, you damn sure wouldn't have been one at night.
No. So I just went in there and I'm like, yeah, I'm rusty. It's been a while, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I'm thinking, surely this guy isn't going to put me behind a bar. It's just a bad business move. And next thing you know, he's like, everybody here's our new bartender. And I'm like, cool. Okay. I'm not going to say no to the opportunity.
No. Now, let me ask you this, because you mentioned $95 tabs. What's the highest tab you ever had? Because I always had to ration myself off.
I mean, honestly, where I work, I feel like the prices are fair. So right now, maybe $100 and something. They're just hole in the wall.
What was your highest?
Okay, see, I'm praying to myself right now because I'll never forget this moment. I was a server, and I had a group. We were chatting, everything was good. My tab was $515, and my manager was like, cool, get a credit card.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. I don't feel good about this. Got the first credit card got declined. I was like, hold on. I was like, hey, and you try to lighten the situation. So the card went through, and I was like, cool. They tipped me $15 on $515. I was so sick to my stomach. I literally almost got sick. My manager was like, go home. I was like, I'm done.
See, as a DJ, I hate shit like that. Because, let's say we think we're doing good with a $300 salary that night, walking out feeling good. We then got a little bar tab, free food. And then we realized we made y'all damn near $600 in tips. I'm like, wait a minute. This don't add up here. Bartenders gone wild. There is a misconception, or maybe it's not. I want y'all to speak on the fact that when bartenders are not working and they become the patrons, do you try to... Are y'all just ignorant? Do y'all do this? Seriously, bartenders, when they're not working... Okay, I've noticed, I've gone to a lot of places, and I play a lot of places where other bartenders leave their club, or they got a night off, and they come over, and they just do shit that they would not do. So, when y'all go, do you purposely try to go and raise hell?
I mean, I'm never nasty, but I get...
She never.
We never said that.
No, but I have a good time. I make sure, because if I'm not serving, I want to be, especially at Smokey's, that was the big rule. You can't drink behind the bar. So if I'm on the other side of the bar, yeah, I want to have a good time.
Do you ever try to reserve it and try to calm it down a little bit?
I always go in with the intention of that. I have a limited budget. I'm going to go in here for a few drinks. And then it just happens.
Rachel, what was the most interesting line, the come on line? Somebody tried to pick you up. Bartenders, what? First of all, let me say this. Brothers, you're not getting none. I don't understand why y'all sit. You realize there's an art to this. I hate to break the secret, but they get y'all to drink and they talk to y'all, but you ain't getting none. Now every once in a blue moon, somebody slips through the cracks, and they probably didn't have to spend no more than $25. They came with the right frame of mind. What was the strangest come on? I know for a fact that Smokey's, you had a few of them, but you just didn't probably notice it on Sundays because they were just too old and decrepit. she had a lot of old feeble men. Like when the first Sunday she worked, hey, honey.
I picked up some shifts for you, and like everyone would be like, I was really hoping Rachel would
Sure
be
shit. Sure. The first time you came in, you actually kind of had a mad face.
Yes, I wear that. I feel like once you've been a bartender as long as I have, like I feel like once you hit that 10-year mark, like this is what you get. I'm gonna get you your drink. There's no BS. We're gonna have a good time. And I think people are very curious about that. Like they want to know more. They want to know if this exterior is, on the outside of the bar. I gotta think, if I'm on the other side of the bar, if I'm with somebody, I crumble.
Really?
I'm completely different. I'm very awkward. But when I go out, I want to be left alone.
Okay.
Like, I'm cool, I'm relaxed. I actually had a regular ask me, he said, you were just at the bar the other day, you didn't stop to have a drink. And I'm like, oh, did you think we were friends?
Yeah. Get like that myself sometimes.
And there's only a handful of people that, I consider to be my friends that I've made through the bar. But other than that, at Smokies, you get the, darling, and I don't see it that way because they are old. So I'm like, okay. But,
yeah, because you got some cats on canes.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to handle one of them?
I did. I had this guy at the end of the bar, and Sundays are always nuts, and I don't think I had a server, and this guy came in, made his order, he was fine, and another regular came in, and they brushed up against each other, and so I had to go into my mom stern voice, and he said, I guess I'm just too stupid to stay, and I was like, then why are you here? Leave. And so, you keep going, and everybody's like, oh, you handled that. And I'm just like, yeah. I had one guy, God bless him, straight up. He was like, can I take you out? And I was like, no, what are you drinking? And he didn't miss a beat, So I'm like, and when you as a customer can go, okay, well, she doesn't want to go out. Awesome.
You got to be careful, fellas. Be careful when how you deal with bartenders because they fix your drink. I mean, like, for real. I mean, like, you think you're just having a good time, you may be a little tipsy, you don't mean no harm, but you can piss them off to the point that, remember, they still serve you. Mm-hmm. Leisha, I know for a fact, you are a fan favorite by a lot of the older women.
Really?
Now, I never... But I'm gonna tell you this, not a lesbian. Well, there was one or two that who asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. But no, seriously, because first of all, you look young, the youthful look, and you have just a sweet demeanor.
Oh, thanks.
But have you ever had a problem? Because women can be the worst ones at the bar. Dudes, fellas, you just gotta say, I'm like, look, cut it out, I'm gonna throw you out.
Right.
Women get personal.
They get very catty.
What was your worst one?
I have one right now.
That you're still going through?
That she, oh my God.
Damn.
Just,
Can we get another drink?
she just, like, everything I do is wrong. And she wants to tell me how to do it. And then at the end of the night, and I kiss, I don't necessarily try to kiss people's ass. I'm like,
Customer's always right.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm new, I didn't get it, I'm sorry, you knew, and you just did it wrong. And I'm like, what the hell? And then $2 tip, that was it.
Hell, you was lucky to get that.
I mean, but keep in mind now, I God hope she never sees this, but she also just purchased 2 $800 dogs in front of me, and then tips me that, and I was just like, all right.
You wanted to fight it, didn't you?
I did. I could have reached.
You was a real one to whoop her ass. I'm going to take a break and fix me a drink. Coming up next, you're going to be talking to Heather, and Heather is going to ask you about your charity work with dogs, and you ain't got no damn charity work. Okay, it's After Dark with Shawty and Heather. Facebook, YouTube, you know the rest. Our musical guest coming up in a little bit, Noel Grove. We got more.
What's up, everybody? My name is Noah Grove, and this is a song I wrote called How I Can Say Goodbye. I'm ready to say goodbye, and ready for a while. All my love slowly turned to hate, and now I'd like to drift away. Until then, I can do whatever I want, 'cause nothing matters anymore. Then you came and shattered the illusion. Now all I've got is a question. How can I say goodbye to you? How can I say goodbye to this world? How can I say goodbye when love is real? Safe space inside my heart. There's a key. It turns the blood to stone. I couldn't even feel I was getting cold, but you came and shattered my delusion, turning my heart into a question. How can I say goodbye to you? How can I say goodbye to this world? How can I say goodbye when love is real? Time's moving past me. Now I know I can feel my time coming. I don't have much time for questions. Time to give answers. Time to take action. Don't let blood turn to stone. You'll think you're safe till it hits the bone. When you came, it ended my confusion. You let love answer the questions, and it's how I will say goodbye to you. It is how I will say goodbye to this world. It is how I will say goodbye. Love is real, and it's how I can say goodbye.
And we're back, and you guys notice that it's not Shawnee anymore. This is Heather, and I'm still here with these lovely ladies, Alicia and Rachel, and Sean asked some really good questions, but I think from a female perspective, we have some things that we wanted to talk about. You were talking about safety, trying to get to your car and things like that. So I thought it would be interesting to bring up being a female, safety issues, occupational hazards. I literally had to help a friend out for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done was to try to bartend for somebody when they were injured, and I would never, ever, ever do it again. And so I absolutely admire you ladies for your strength and your patience. So does anybody want to talk about, you got any scars or emotional or otherwise? Just kidding.
So I'm a really bad people who know me, I bring all of my bar tools with me. I have like 8 bar keys, my shakers, but if I'm busy, I just open the bottles with my hand and the bottle caps dig into your fingers and rip your fingers open, but you're just like
So you don't even feel it anymore.
Yeah, you're just like,
she's like the guitar player of bartenders because now she has calluses. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Alicia, you have anything you want to?
Nothing crazy. I'm more just clumsy, so glasses breaking and then picking it up and then cutting yourself. Just like, because you're not really thinking.
You're in a rush,
Yeah,
I bet.
you're in a rush and you're trying to please all these people, and then everyone's watching you, and so yeah, it just gets a little frazzled sometimes.
Well, I actually had a bartender, and I kind of felt it was going to happen. I've always been taught, even as a kid, if a glass drops or anything, let it go.
Yeah.
And so she took the glass out the cooler, was pouring a pint and water, melting things, and the glass slipped through her hands, and she went, and she went, the shard went through her hand, and she was just bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, go.
Worst
Go
place
now.
to, yeah. Your hands are so, like, there's so many different little, I don't want to think about it. So we were talking about, Shawnee brought up, guys, again, let me just reiterate, you're not getting any, okay? They're friendly with you because they want your tips. No, I'm just kidding. They're friendly because they're friendly, but they want your tips. Any issues with, like, relationships? Do you find that maybe male bartenders, female bartenders get together? You ever kind of hooked up with a regular or wanted to and didn't get to, or, you know?
Mom, don't watch this. You know, our industry is very special. It takes a special kind of person. I've never had much luck in the dating world. I'm getting to know somebody now who is in my industry, but I think that helps. But I'm very independent. I'm very, this is what you get or not. You can get on the train or not. So, but you really have to be that way because I'm going to talk to this guy and this guy. Again, I'm not going home with them, but if you don't get that, then it's not going to work.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
That's very, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with you anyway. But I guess I'm kind of the exception because the guy I'm seeing now, I actually met him. I started Smokies.
Oh, yeah.
And then I told myself, I'm like, I am not getting involved with anybody that works here or anybody on the other side of the bar. And within 2 weeks, I was like, oh, crap.
And he's a nice guy, so I think he's an exception as well. I mean, he seems, I don't know if I would say I'm a regular. I wasn't in there every day, but I was in there a good bit, and never really met anybody that was hanging out with you that was not,
Well, thanks.
good.
So far, so good, but I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I think being an independent woman, being able to, rely on yourself, that's really awesome. Also, talking about relationships and stuff, bartenders, let's talk about kind of how the community of bartenders are. You can talk about within your bar, all the bars in the area. Is there competition, or do women get catty with other bartenders? They want to steal your tips. Can you rely on bartenders at other bars to like hook you up or whatever? Like, how does that work?
I've said before, I've been doing this so long, and I'm so fortunate to have done it for so long because I've met the OGs of like years ago, people who I admire, who I've learned from, and it's such a tight-knit F&B family in Charleston. So when this pandemic happened, this is my family.
Yeah.
So, but But, however, there are bartenders, guys or girls, new or old. Everybody gets threatened when they see somebody who is really busting their ass, who, I mean, is very talented. There's going to be a little bit of animosity until you can prove to that person, you know, I'm here to play with you. I'm here to be a unit. So it can definitely get catty. I can safely say I think Smokies for me is one bartending job that I've had that immediately everybody was so welcoming, and we are a family and will continue to be a family. But that's the only bar that I can honestly say that, because Charleston is so competitive. You know, you're going to have those, I've worked downtown, you're going to have the downtown personalities, you're going to have maybe the neighborhood personalities where their intention is more to flirt, and I want my drink, I want it fast, I want it right, and, you know, I respect every bartender because everybody has something to give.
That's
Absolutely.
I guess I've noticed a little bit sometimes, maybe you have too with the bars that you are there, like, let's say you're working until 6 and the next bartender comes in and they want to get on the clock immediately, like at 5:30. But you have that 30 minutes to make a good amount of money.
You're crossing into dinner time.
So, it's like, so that's like a major line with me. Like, let me work my shift.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That reminds me of being like in the grocery line, and it's like, I don't have my wallet in my purse yet, sir. Could you back away? That's what I don't know why, but that immediately, like, that's what I thought of. Was like, excuse me, I don't even have my receipt. Could you back off of me?
That's exactly how it is.
Any other just crazy stories? Anything you want to share? You don't have to. Mom, don't watch. Boyfriend, don't watch.
You know, I will share some stories and some comments, and I'll share a comment and then a story. But my comment, and this goes to everybody out there, like, I love my job, I love what I do, and people with tattoos, these are our arts right here. If I'm busy, I don't want to talk about them. Just admire from afar. You know, no harm, no foul. If I have time, I'll talk to you about them. Other than that, I'm here to bartend. I have met some amazing people, NFL players, UFC fighters. You cannot get into a better industry than the bar and F&B, because you never know who you're going to meet. I worked at Husk, Paul Giamatti, Will Smith, Kelly Clarkson, Michael Keaton. These people you never thought in a million years you see in little old Charleston, but you do. And it's so cool because, like, we do this for a living, and every day is different. And I'm very thankful for that. It's cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've never met anyone famous ever. But I would have to say a lot of people, like, relationships that I will keep forever, and that's been awesome. You make, I know it's kind of hard to, you know, when you're working and they're not, and there's a relationship there, but then it does eventually with some turn into a friendship, and I can appreciate that a lot.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I did want to, now that we can, I guess we can switch topics, because Alicia, you don't just bartend.
I don't.
And I know that's something that Sean and Smokey and everybody that knows you is so proud of what you do. Let us know what you got going on.
So, I'm the founder of Yonoya Rescue, and we take dogs from high kill shelters and then place them in homes. So in the last segment, when that chick had the breeder bring in the dogs, that was like, super rough. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I do.
And it's Yonoya? Yonoya. And so can you tell, or do you have a Facebook page, website?
Facebook, website, Instagram.
Would you spell Yonoya?
Yeah. It's EUN as in neighbor, OIA.
And where did that come from? Is that a name?
I was under the influence of Googling. And I was like, I just want to be different. I want to be so different. Like, I was high. So, and then Yonoya means beautiful thinking. So I was like, that's cool.
That is perfect.
Yeah, so.
That's perfect. So donate to Yonoya Dog Rescue.
Yes.
Check out the website. Go to the Facebook page. Adopt a dog.
Yeah.
You know, get yourself a best friend.
Sure.
You don't have to wear a mask at home with your dog. So.
No.
And gosh, it's like I want to talk more and I can't even think of anything else. But it's been really amazing having you guys because I really do admire what y'all do. I think a lot of people don't realize all the stuff that you go through. I know I don't, but at least I have a little bit better understanding tonight, talking to you guys and hearing your stories, hearing, you know, good stories, bad stories, all that kind of stuff. And I will not ask Rachel about her tattoos because I am scared of her. No.
We look like a fucking knockoff version of the Beastie Boys.
Oh my goodness. Do I need to just like,
You know.
God. Lord help me, please.
Lord. Is a hell of a performer. So tell them who you are.
All right, my name is Noah Grove. I sing, I write songs. I've been doing music for, I guess you would say professionally, for about 7 years. I think probably to say you do music professionally is kind of an interesting thing because it's probably not as straightforward as people think it is. It's a lot. There's a lot of different hats you gotta wear, and it's not like, you know, you don't put your hours in 9 to 5. But I would say I've been a professional musician for 7 years now.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have been. You got a fan base, and he came to us by way of Michelle Walters. Michelle and Sydney, thank y'all. Yeah. Because y'all hounded me and harassed me to. No, I'm not gonna make it sound like that, but y'all pushed that I work with this guy and I check him out, and I saw him on Facebook. And you were in Park Circle at the spot on Thursday where you play.
Yeah, Southern Roots.
Southern Roots
Park Circle.
Do you do the there's open mic on,
Mm-hmm.
that's, okay.
And I saw him, and what was impressed me is you will be performing tonight because since you are the musical guest, you have to earn your keep. And what impressed me is his originals. Mm-hmm. And he was doing originals that sounded so well arranged, it seemed like they were covers. Mm-hmm. And it freaked me out. Like, is that? I've never heard that song before.
Yeah.
And Sydney goes, well, it's an original. Like, son of a bitch.
That's the one thing you said to me when you called me and you said, oh man, this guy's coming in. You're going to be blown away. Like, his songwriting is like top notch. And that's a huge thing though, because a lot of musicians, professional or otherwise, covers are that's their bread and butter. Well, because especially when you're in a bar, people
thinking now with this pandemic thing going on, most of the bar owners, which is part of the reason why we're doing food and beverage on the show for this month, but for lack of a better explanation, they're just fucking cheap. Yeah, y'all got listen. Take it from a working DJ. Pandemic has made y'all a hell of a lot cheaper, man.
It's tough.
Y'all are using the pandemic to skimp on the money, man. But the good thing about that is it opens doors for singer-songwriters because even though full bands aren't getting a lot of work, guys like yourself are getting work. And the singer-songwriting thing, I'm seeing some great guys, and you kind of broke through the middle. You told me that you're a fan of Joe Fisher, who's a good friend to the show. And your style kind of reminds me of it.
Yeah.
Explain your style.
I always have a really hard time explaining my style, but I would say two things. I used to always say it was beachy folk because I think that was a pretty easy way to like just, you know, even if that's not a genre, I think people kind of get a little bit beachy folk. But then I think like another way to say it would be I've got jazz influence in my music. I've got I guess some pop and some folk and maybe a little bit of funk. But I'm not really funky like people would. I don't think you'd say I'm funky, but there's like a little bit in there, I think.
If you had to pick just like, let's say 3 artists, and I know there's probably like hundreds because there are for me, but if you had to pick artists that represented your style, maybe to make it a little easier, because as soon as you say beachy, I go to Jimmy Buffett. I don't know why I do that, but I go there. So tell me what artists you think you get that from.
Okay. Yeah, Jack Johnson is the one that everyone says I sound like, but actually I didn't really listen to much Jack Johnson. I would say John Mayer, Muse, and Nickel Creek
Okay.
were my main influences.
Okay.
At least you said Nickel Creek and not Nickelback.
Yes. Yes.
I actually like Nickelback.
I used to.
Honestly, I don't know what's a big deal of hating on Nickelback.
I think it's one of those things. Like I used to be like kind of careful about that because I thought like there might be something really messed up about them that we just haven't figured out yet. What is it? But
They're Canadian,
I think they're
right?
actually
Is that the
solid,
problem?
and it's just like the needle fell on them, right? It's just like,
What influenced your songwriting?
really, I guess just writing a lot. I mean, I listened to a ton of music. Okay, yeah, I would say one was just writing over and over and over and over again, and I just always throughout every stage of my life I just kept writing. There was actually one time where I did a cross-country trip from the West Coast to the East Coast, and before I did that, I bought a giant binder of CDs, just random CDs. It was like 400 CDs, and literally as I went across, I didn't care what I listened to. I just put CD after CD after CD after in, and listened, song back to back to back to back, so I could get a good sense of what like published artists that have made at least a name enough for themselves that they made it into somebody's CD binder, what their full thing is, what their all the songs they're writing, and it was really interesting. So I think that helped my songwriting a lot because I listened to so many. But yeah, I also found that there weren't a lot of the people that you know of didn't have a lot of great songs. They had a few great songs, and then it was actually the rare artists that had like all great songs. Yeah.
What is the normal perk that comes with being an acoustic? Or do you take advantage of them? Because a lot of them just don't.
I don't worry about it too much. I'm more concerned about just booking as much as possible. So I don't worry too much about what people are offering. I sort of have my minimum of $150 for 3 hours. I think that's pretty
That's
baseline.
pretty going, right? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So if I can get more than that, that's good. And I usually only do that for restaurants or ones that are going to be perpetual gigs, because I think it's a lot of work, to set up all the PA, to drive there, and usually stay after a while to break everything down and hang out and fraternize, all that. So it's a lot of work, and it really doesn't. It sounds like $50 an hour, but it ends up being a lot less. And then you got the practice time that people don't probably think about too much. So. Yeah, but usually a lot of places will offer a bar tab of like $25 or $50, and then if you're doing like weddings or private events, most of the time it seems like people are gonna let you eat and drink and stuff like that. So yeah, people are usually pretty cool about it.
Top 3 places you like to play at these days?
I really love.
No disrespect to either one of them, just top 3 that you like.
I really loved Poor Tap Room, mainly because they were like the nicest venue to me, but they recently closed down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they were awesome. So shout out to Poor Tap Room if you guys hear this. You guys were awesome, and it was really encouraging to me as a new artist to town just to have the faith that you guys put in me and the consistent booking. Other than that, I'm really excited about Pub 61. It's really cool. I connected with the owners there. They seem really cool. And let's see, what's another one? We just played Common House Aleworks, and that stage is amazing. I mean, I hope to book that on a regular basis. Starting to put a band together, and hopefully we can play that a lot. So, I mean, those are some cool
Keep
ones.
your eye out for Noah. Oh, by the way, Pub 61, take advantage of the taco salad.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
I don't need everybody's taco salad, but that's a good one. Wait a minute.
I'm not saying a thing.
I'm just notorious for that. You nasty son of a... It's just a damn show. Stick around. We got more for y'all.
What's up, everybody? My name is Noah Grove. I write songs, I sing, I play songs, and I teach kite surfing. And I'm going to play a song for you today that's a new cover to me, and you'll find out what it is right now. Una poca de gracia, y otro cosita, arriba, arriba, ay, arriba, arriba, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba.
cielo. Para subir así ya no se necesita una poca de gracia.